There we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's AMA, Talkadot Ask Me Anything. For those of you who've never been here before, allow me to give you a quick crash course on what happens on these calls. For those of you who have been here before, this will be a little refresher. So this is all about getting your questions answered. So if you have very specific questions or things that you want to get answered about Talkadot, about speaking, about something that's coming up, about, hey, I just did a talk, now what? I'm about to do a talk, now what? Or I want to use the tool, but I'm not sure how to do this, or I have a feature request, or anything that's on your mind that's just easier to share versus posting in our circle group, that's what this is for. So the way that we're going to do this, we have no real set agenda. It's about getting your questions answered. So all you have to do is go to the reactions, hit the raise your hand feature like this. It'll put you into a queue, and then we'll answer all your questions as they come in. If you have any questions that you prefer to put in the chat, obviously you can go ahead and do so, DM me or anything like that. So we're going to jump into the Q&A portion. Before we do that, I just want to make sure, and let me grab the link here before I go further and then say to myself, I was gonna tell y'all about it, and then I forgets to do it because I'm super excited about this. I mean, golly, I've never been more excited about literally anything I've ever done training wise. Are all of you signed up for the black box training? Is anyone not signed up for it? Okay, everyone is. Okay, wonderful. If for any reason you are not signed up for it, I just put the link in the chat. This is going to be hands down the most robust thing I've ever done ever. And it's taken what's been working for generating spin-off business, which is by far the best form of how do you actively get referrals, rebookings, leveraging one talk and getting another one, and how do you do all the processes? And one of the things that I did that I've never, ever, ever done before is I've taken all these steps and processes and turned them into what's called a SOP, or a standing operating procedure. So literally, I can just hand it to you and then you can just do it, or I can hand it to you and you can hand it to a VA and they can do it for you. So it's really, really cool. It's just plug and play. All the steps are there. It's been really, really, it's more than just the content of here's what you do. It's the content of here's what you do, and then here's the specific steps on how you do them. Here it is. Now just go and try to keep it as simple as possible. So it is a labor of love that hopefully goes well. It'll be the first time I'm teaching it ever. So all of you be well warned that you are hopefully going to get some really great information. But if it's underbaked or overbaked, please let me know because I wanna try to get it right. So it'll be a lot of fun. So with that said, make sure to join. If you have a friend who's a speaker, I don't know if I'm ever going to do this for free. So this is maybe the only time I do it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see how it goes. If it totally sucks, then like I'll try to make it better. But if it goes really, really well, this is a great opportunity to get in on it. So please invite some of your friends, hold them accountable. It'll be great. All right, let's jump in with questions. Nilu, I will be your cheerleader, even though you're always your cheerleader.
Thank you. I actually don't know if this is a question, but maybe a question will emerge. So I
Hmm.
had an event in May and it was a virtual conference, 600 participants. I got like 20 some odd warm leads. I was on cloud nine, right? Then I had my VA send out all of those follow-ups. I used the template that you suggested. And then it was like crickets. And then when people, if participants wrote back, they said, well, we misunderstood, like we don't have something right away. So they somehow identified themselves as a warm lead, but hey, we'll keep you posted for future stuff. So I don't know, do you have any advice on, I mean, I know we have those templates, but like, yeah, any advice on how
Mhm.
to do something different than what I did, I
Yeah,
guess.
100%. So number one, there's a yes and a no, right? So I'll tell you what the yes and the no is, right? So the one thing to keep in mind is whenever we speak, I want you to imagine like all 10 of my fingers represent your audience. So anytime you speak, there's maybe like three of those people that actually can book you to speak. Now, the thing that those three people can't do is have their timing perfectly aligned with your speaking engagement. So it's a lead. So that's the big thing that is, I realized that, like, I think I'm going to do some education to around this topic. So this isn't a Nilu thing. This is like something I get messages on like, oh, they said that they could book me. I reached out. When they're saying that they're interested in booking you, what they're doing is indicating by raising their hand that I am someone that you should be aware of. Out of like the 10 fingers,
Mhm.
these three people should be nurtured, should be taken care of, should be put into and now there are times which are wonderful whenever we've had this experience where the moment someone needs to book a speaker, is the moment they've attended the event that we're speaking at, and they can lock and load and move quickly. But that typically is more of the I would say exception and not the rule, because it's just pure timing, right? Like I have an organization called Profound Mastermind. We hire speakers. If someone reached out to me right now, I couldn't book them to speak, nor could I sign a contract because we've contracted everyone who's speaking until the end of the year. But I would say, hey, I book speakers and I'd be interested in booking you. You know, it's let's stay in touch. So number one, the first thing is to keep in mind, are these people leads for now or leads for later? So that's the big thing. Because emotionally, if we go, this is a philosophical thing that I have held on to. Oh man, this is gonna Neela. This is a long answer, but this is a very important topic. Okay, I want to go a little bit deeper. Then I'm gonna give you some also some specificity. Have you ever watched football? Have you ever watched a football game?
Sure, my
Have
husband watches it a
your
lot.
husband? Okay, right. So there's a very classic scene in almost anyone's mind who's seen someone play football, where someone breaks free and they're about to score a touchdown and they start high stepping, which is like they start kind of like prancing before they're in the end zone. And then this defensive player just stays along and then smacks the ball out of their hand at like the 2 yard line. And it's like, ugh, right? So I've taken that as a physical representation of never do the touchdown dance until I'm in the end zone, right?
Mm,
So I never get excited about something until literally a contract is signed. And
mhm,
it's a changing of the emotions, because what happens is we get the leads, we get super excited about the leads, and then if they don't cash in, it kind of feels like this almost like emotional, like there's something wrong with me or something's bad. Like it actually, the fall is higher.
mhm,
So whenever leads come in, my first thought is, I've got the leads, these are great. I've now identified people who are interested. Now I'm going to be carving the wood a little bit more to get to the image. So, or carving the marble. There's a Michelangelo quote that says, I don't carve Michelangelo out of the stone. I remove everything that's not Michelangelo, right? And or not David, excuse me. I remove everything that's not David. So now that I have kind of my foundation, I try to remove everything that's either someone who wants to book me now, someone who wants to book me later, or someone who just was caught in the magic of the moment, right? Like sometimes, you know, it just happens. Like you speak and people are like, oh my gosh, Nilu, anything you want. Do you want a kidney? Do you want a liver? Do you want, like, I will be anything. What, you know, do you want to book? Yeah, I'll book you. I'll find some, like, some people get so caught up in the magic of the moment that they do that, right? So those are the three categories. So my first job is, which one are they, right?
mhm,
Caught up in the moment, later or now. If they're later, that's cool. I'm totally fine with a later. So I mark on my calendar, if someone says, if someone ever reaches, okay, so now let's go to specificity. If someone ever reaches out to you and says, "Oh, I'm interested for sure, but like I can't really book you," or I feel like I just had this message come into me, like, "Oh, Aurel, I can't book you, but I feel like you should come to our community. You would be amazing for our community, but I don't know how to make it happen." So I'll mark that and I'll say, okay, I'll give them suggestions. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Do you know anyone at the Chamber of Commerce? Do you know anyone at a local business? Do you know anyone who runs a conference of some sort? Like, I try to give them something to help them out. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. If they say no, like, I was caught up in the magic of it, magic of Nilu, then
mhm,
I just put them onto my newsletter, right? So
mhm,
they'll get a message from me like once a month or so. I don't do a regular newsletter. Maybe I should, but just so they see something from me, they get some value from me. I might ask them to connect with me on LinkedIn so that
mhm,
they see my LinkedIn posts. There's some type of like, that's long game. Okay.
mhm,
For people who say that, oh my, like I had someone who said, hey, I'm super interested in booking you, but we've booked everyone for 2025. We're only talking about 2026, and we're not even touching 2026 until October. So that just happened to me. So then I'll go into my calendar and I'll mark October as I'm gonna send a message follow in. I go into my October calendar. I make a note to follow up with them. Or if you go into your CRM, you can just make a like a task. I like my calendar because it just works better for my brain
me
for
too.
those types of things.
Yeah.
And I put their email in my calendar, a time that I'm going to follow up. Or if I'm feeling, I don't love this, it works and it also sucks, and I'll tell you why. You can do a schedule send with Gmail. I don't know if you're
Mhm,
familiar with that. We can send something in the future. So what
mhm,
I've done in the past is I'll schedule an email to go out today, October 2024. The reason why I don't love that is because occasionally I've had people like messaging me in like August, and then I already had something scheduled for October, and I totally forgot about it. And then they get a message in October, and they're like, "Dude, like it's happened like twice, and it's been embarrassing." So you could schedule it if you feel like they're definitely not going to reach out, but I just put it into October. So that's two, right? And
Mhm.
then the third thing, I don't know if I'm numbering these correctly, but let's say three. The third thing is, and this is probably the biggest piece. This is the biggest piece is if someone's interested in booking now, it means timing and everything worked out, so that's great. If they're not interested in booking now, it's important that we as speakers have some form of nurturing. We've got to have some form of email, newsletter that's once a month, um, getting people onto your LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Like if you're particularly, busy on one, like funneling them somewhere where they're going to keep seeing. Because here's what will happen: they're going to see you, they're going to love you, and in 3 months from now, they're going to say things like, "Man, what was that speaker who spoke? Was her name Nancy? Was it Naomi? Who?" I, they're gonna forget our names. They're gonna forget who we were. Then they're gonna forget we existed until they hear from us. So I tend to find that one of the biggest kind of leaky holes, the leaky bucket. I'm using the analogy wrong. One of the holes in the bucket that creates a big leak in the speaker world is we don't have a way to stay top of mind. We don't have a way to
Mhm.
stay in touch. So I would encourage you to think of like pulling some chapters out of your book, filling some content from your book or something like that to stay in touch. And these people, a percentage of them will always turn over. And I'm willing to bet if I say this, many people's faces will light up. How many people have ever reached out to you and said something to the effect of, "I saw you speak 3 years ago at an event, and I finally have an event now, and I want to book you for it." And it's just because you've stayed somehow in their mind.
Mhm.
And then for the last part I'll say to this, because I'm going a little extra thorough, Nilu, but like I hope it's okay. The other aspect of it is how, and we're going to talk about this in a black box marketing, is how do we leverage the event that we just had to get more events similar to it, regardless if the people in the audience don't turn over. So, for example, you spoke at a virtual event. Who was the group you spoke to, like more specifically?
Recruiters.
Recruiters. Was it like HR or was it like headhunters or was it what kind
It
of?
was executives in recruiting companies.
Perfect. Okay, so executives and recruiting companies, right? So the next thing that I would do is number one, connect with all of the people who are warm leads and ask them, "Hey, I'm just curious, are you a part of any recruiting associations that you can let me know about?" Right? So they may want to book me, but they can't. But let's say they're a part of an association. That's the first thing that I want to like ideally find out. What associations are these people a part of? Because number one, these associations have conferences. These conferences need speakers. They typically pay speakers, and recruiting is like one of those things that it's. I've never spoken to recruiters, but it strikes me as like it's a money business. So they probably have money. Like it's not
Mhm.
like certain nonprofits, right?
Right.
Number one, I want to reach out and say, "Hey, no problem. Everything is always no problem, by the way.
Hmm.
Even if it's the majorest problem in the world, no problem. All good. No problem." Just curious, what associations are you a part of? Because if they are telling you they're all a part of the same association, that's a clue. And number two, if they tell you they're part of association, the follow-up question to that is, awesome. Do you happen to know anyone on the planning committee? You will be surprised at how many people will go, "I'm on the planning committee. I'm on the executive board." So interesting you said, "I'm on the state, I'm the NSA Carolinas, person, like someone will, so and you'll be like, "Oh, snap, like great. Could you connect me with other chapters or other things?" So you always want to don't take it as, "Oh, we were excited and we can't, and now it's a no." We
Hmm.
want to go, well, where does it go from here? Associations, recommend referrals, like, is there any other organizations you might think of? A lot of times people just need the question to jog their memory and they
Hmm.
can come up with something really well. And then the no part that I said earlier is just keep this. Our game is a follow-up game. Like our game is a stay in
Yep.
touch game. Our game is a thing. So like getting a bunch of interest and getting a bunch of no's is normal. Um, Getting interest and getting a bunch of maybes is normal, and getting yeses is normal too. It's just a matter of which one happened to be that course. Now, with it being 600 people, there's such great opportunities there. So
Yeah.
if you haven't connected with these folks on LinkedIn, I would have your VA just make sure to, you can do about 100 per week or so. Just
Yeah.
connect with them, stay in touch with them there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. But I will say the last thing I'll say is I am keenly aware of, and I think we all are keenly aware of the emotional crash of interest to no interest. The
Mhm.
worst is when you have a great conversation and they're like, this sounds wonderful. And then they go back to the committee and then for whatever reason they choose a different speaker. And
Yep.
you're like, you already circled that date in your calendar. You're already like, I'm going to New Mexico. You kind of get excited about it. You start counting the money. We do all those things. So I always, remind myself, never do a touchdown dance until I'm in the end zone.
Thank
Then
you.
I, then I do the funky chicken all day, all day, all day, every day.
Thanks.
Mhm. Question that I'm gonna ask y'all. Normally, I wait for y'all to ask me questions, but feel free if you have a question to ask it. But on behalf of someone, I'm just going to ask this question in the chat, or if you want to just raise your hand and just say, what CRM or what system are you using to keep track of all of your leads in business? I happen to use SpeakerFlow personally, but a question came in from a very handsome man, very, very handsome speaker, very talented guy. And he was like asking me that. So just on his behalf, I'm just kind of asking out there to get a sense of how do you keep track? Do you use spreadsheets? Do you use Google Sheets? Do you use like Pipedrive? Do you use SpeakerFlow? Could Jennifer uses HubSpot? Jennifer, do you use the free HubSpot or which HubSpot do you use?
Right now I use free because it offers
Free.
everything I need.
Okay, cool. Yeah. HubSpot is one of those interesting things because their free one's pretty good, but the moment you have to pay, it gets crazy expensive. So I think they're playing the long, 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 long game where
Yeah.
it's like because what's gonna happen, Jennifer, is you're gonna get so locked into HubSpot that eventually when, you need to do the other stuff, which they're like, she'll figure it out eventually, then you're like stuck in there. But shout out to HubSpot because I think they're pretty good. So a lot of people use HubSpot, which is really, really cool. So I'm seeing a couple of HubSpots come in. Um, Excel, nothing wrong with Excel. I personally prefer, I used to use Google Sheets, and I just like Google Sheets because they're collaborative. So if you ever, like, if you do an Excel spreadsheet and then update it, then you gotta go, like, if someone else makes an update on your team, they may not always be the same. So I like Google Sheets because they're real time. But I found with Google Sheets, I was constantly panicked that someone was gonna make a mistake. So I would make a Google Sheet and then make a copy of like every single. So I had like a Google Sheet and then like a duplicate of it just in case somebody accidentally erased it. Um, yeah. Okay, cool. So HubSpot seems to be a big one. Starting this month on SpeakerFlow. Yeah, SpeakerFlow is great. Cool. All right. Other questions? Use this guy.
Can you cover logos, like
Mhm.
our logo? How can we,
A
um,
big Olympic-sized pool with a person splashing in it with
yeah,
like minimal splash. Minimal splash. Yeah. No.
yeah, exactly. How can we leverage our logo? Because it's all about them remembering us. And I mean, Talkadot does a great job of getting their logo out there, but really what they want to see is us and
Mhm.
remember our logo. So how do we leverage our logo in Talkadot?
Yeah, so I will tell you something that might be controversial. Might be controversial in what I'm about to say. I expect there should be people who disagree with me. I almost 1% above not caring about a logo is where I am. So there's logos, and then there's 1% above, like there's like I could not care what my logo is, and then there's 1% above that. That's kind of where I live. And I'll tell you the reason why. I used to spend a lot of time on like I had this one logo. Man, did I spend a lot of time on it? It was a butterfly, but it was actually the hinge of a door opening, but it was also a book opening at the same time, right? If I could find this logo, I spent so much time and it represented like little hinges that swing big doors, which was a W. Clement Stone. And it was about like books opening your mind and how like, like the transformation that people like I put so much time and energy into my logo as a speaker. And at the end of the day, like people just wanted me, right? And they just want you, like I think as a service-based entrepreneur, So this is the point I want to get to. As a service-based entrepreneur, our logos are less important than if we're a product-based business owner. I think product-based businesses, the logo matters. I think in service-based, like if I like have a really good, I don't know, home cleaning service, I could have a dope logo or not. It's like, do I serve, you know, I
But
think
yeah,
it's less
I
important.
totally agree
Yeah.
with that. But what my point here is we don't want people to walk away going, oh, Deborah works for Talkadot, or you know what I'm saying? It's like, how do we leverage who we are using this system? Because like, for example, is it Survey Monkey? Yeah, Survey Monkey, or well, not Survey Monkey, the e-newsletter, Chip,
MailChimp?
MailChimp. You
Yes.
can take their logo off, and a lot of people don't know you can do that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like,
I
it
understand what
makes
you're saying. You're
sense,
talking
because you
about the
want
branding
people
of
to
it.
know that it's your newsletter, you know, it's like, hey, we customized this for you. So
Yeah.
Talkadot's all over the place, and we love Talkadot, but we don't want to confuse the audience, in other words.
Yeah.
And
So
we don't want them to think that you're trying to advertise to them, because they really don't care about Talkadot like we do, right?
Yeah.
So how do we leverage our brand then? Maybe is that the question that I should be asking?
I think I understand. Yeah, I misunderstood your previous question, right? So the way that we are hoping to position Talkadot, so I'll give you kind of the philosophical approach, and then it is kind of like Yelp or Google reviews, right? So people take Yelp's logo and they put it on their business, and they say, hey, look, we've got 5-star reviews on Yelp, and the reason why people trust Yelp is because it's a third party. They know that people can go on and give feedback, and it's unedited. We are hoping to make Talkadot kind of the Yelp, the Trustpilot, the Google reviews of the speaking world. So the reason why we want that logo on there is because we want people to know that this isn't like a Google form where if I didn't like something, I deleted it or edited it, or like it's if I were to go onto, let's say I was buying mittens and I went onto a mittens website and they had on their website 5,000 5-star reviews for their mittens, I would be like, well, maybe, probably not. But if I went to Amazon and saw 5,000 5-star reviews, I know it's kind of like this third party. So that's the reason we do it that way philosophically, is because we want people when they see Talkadot to know you as a speaker can't go in and delete, edit, or change anything. So you're getting real answers. In terms of leveraging your brand when you do it, I've seen speakers, and I can probably find some maybe easily. Maybe, I don't know if Mercy, you could think. There are some speakers that do some creative stuff on Canva. Like I've seen some creative Canva templates where people take their Talkadot logos, Talkadot testimonials, and they put them into a like Canva template. I've seen one user make like movies. There was one dude, actually, there was this one dude, hold on. I just shared this thing on my Facebook because I thought it was really interesting. Maybe he'll give us the templates, maybe he won't. I don't know the guy that well. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I thought it was really sick.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm glad you explained that.
Here it is.
We do
I'm
want
sorry.
Talkadot to be credible to our audience.
Yeah. So you see this guy? Have you seen this guy? So I thought this was a really cool. His name is Brian Miller. He's one of our users. So I don't know how he did this. I assume it's some type of Canva template of some sort, and he kind of threw everyone on there. So I think there's like creative things that you can do via Canva and go to town with it. But again, our main goal is to become that Yelp Trustpilot on your behalf. And as we get there, and we are getting there, which is awesome. Like we're getting more people asking for Talkadot reports. Like we have one conference called HR Disrupt. They require all their speakers to use Talkadot because they're like, it's like we want you to use it. So we're slowly getting there, slowly. Yeah. But swimming pool is what I would still go with for you. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Deborah. You're the best. Hopefully I'll connect with Grant, by the way. Thank you for that connection. I looked at his website. He looks very, very cool with his singing and such. Harriet, what's going on?
Thank you.
How are you?
So this is good. This is my first time here, and I
Long time listener, first time caller. Yeah.
So I met you at an NSA, and it was just so amazing. I say I have to scrounge up money and buy this thing. So that's what I did. I have two little suggestions. The lady who and for you who say you schedule emails and you don't do it anymore because they would still go out and you don't remember. So when I schedule an email like far out a year ahead, I don't send it to the person. I send it to me.
Mm.
So when it comes to me, you will remember, oh, I connected already. And so it's useful that way
Solid.
because you don't forget, but then
Yeah.
it doesn't go out and you're not embarrassed. So that's what I do.
That's actually a very smart little hinge there. I like that a lot, actually.
I do all of my far out emails that way because you just don't know what can happen somewhere in between.
Yeah. Awesome.
And there's something else I don't remember. I'll remember it when I come. I'm so glad you do these sessions for people like me who can go to a video and still have questions because I don't know technology. It's petrifying. I get so nervous with technology. And so I like this. So my question to you is, I'd like you to go over whatever you're going to do for people like me. And I have a talk coming up July 11, my first talk. I mean, I took hiatus and I started homeschooling my boys for like 8 years. And then I'm like going back out. So this is my first talk. I want to use Talkadot. I have this bonus to give away and I'm so petrified. I just don't know. I know I can go to the app.
You
I
don't
just
want to do it
don't-
wrong. I got you back. Are you on
Yeah.
your computer right now by chance?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. To make sure you do it right, we're gonna very, very quickly. If you can share your screen, if you can log into Talkadot first, and
Okay.
then share your screen. I'm gonna do a quick walkthrough of your account just to make sure everything is set up correctly, make sure there's nothing I see that's like fuzzy. And this will be good for everyone because occasionally we've had users who are like long-term Talkadot users, and then I'll show them a feature and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know it did that." And I was like, "Oh man, that's you should turn that on. That's a good feature."
Okay. Um,
So you log in and you share. Oh, there we go.
there we go.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so first thing you want to do is scroll down a little bit. You see where it says add another Talkadot code?
Yes.
Yeah, so get to click on that button.
By the way, I was practicing, so this is me and my husband. So that's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you in the future, if you want to practice, scroll up.
Okay.
Scroll up. Do you see where it says test my Talkadot flow? With the little wrench on the left?
On the left. Yes.
Yeah, so click on that. If you ever want to test your feedback, go here.
Got it.
Because this is where it doesn't store any of your data. So like when you do it on your normal link, it'll actually affect your actual data. So when you do it on your test link here, this will make sure you can play around with it and make sure it actually works and does everything it's supposed to without it affecting your data. Just FYI.
Thank you. That's helpful.
Okay, so click on the tab to your, not the back button because it opened a new tab. Click on the second Talkadot link on the left. So scroll up, a little more. Yep, right there. Okay, then click there. Okay, actually, don't create the slide yet. We're gonna do basic. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a gray circle with a little white figure in it called the avatar. Do you see that? To the right of community?
The right.
Yeah,
Yes.
right there. Yeah, so
Yes.
click on that and then click settings. So click add your photo to the left there. So the first thing you want to do is add a photo of yourself here. This photo is going to show up across all of your surveys and all of your data reports. So you want to choose
I don't
a
have a
headshot.
pretty picture yet.
Okay, well, you're going to want to get one and then add it there. Okay, so that's where you're going to add it because that'll just make it look a little more robust. Okay,
Okay.
so you can hit cancel. Scroll all the way down while you're in settings. Keep going. Okay, there. You see where it says booking leads, email opt-ins, and referral leads?
Yes.
Now, I would recommend toggling those to on. What this will do is everyone who's a booking lead, an automatic email will get sent to them asking them to schedule a meeting with you. Everyone who's an email opt-in, they'll get a link with your bonus, whatever you're giving them, or just thanking them for attending your session. And your referral, we get an automatic email asking people to connect you with whoever they may want to connect you with. So I recommend having these turned on because it's just an automatic touch point and you don't have to drop anything.
Right.
And do you see where it says reply to email? Is that the
Yes.
email that you want people to email you at?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. You're all set up here. Click on the home button right next to my leads. This will bring you back to your dashboard. Now we're going to go back to creating your slides. So you want to scroll down a little bit. Click on add another Talkadot code right there. Great. So now let's do the setup wizard, okay? So the first question is, do you want to collect leads or email addresses? For everyone, by the way, this is new. We got a new thing here. I don't know if everyone's seen this. So make sure you know about this, yeah, because we added this based on your feedback. You have 3 options for how you collect contact information. The default option is you're going to collect speaking leads and email addresses. The second object is just email addresses, but no speaking leads. And the third option is no contact information whatsoever. So previously, we only had 2 options. You could either not collect contact or collect emails and leads. But sometimes people said, oh, I don't want to collect speaking leads, but I do want people's email addresses. So you have those options. I would recommend the first option. Is it okay for you to collect that for this case?
Yes.
The leads and all? Okay, great. So you want to scroll down a little bit to 2. So where it says enter code, what is your talk going to be about? Is it a health related talk?
Yes, it's nutrition. It's really just telling people to eat fruits, more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. But I have kind of a little spin on it to make it interesting.
I love it. So you could put nutrition as your code or health as your code. Choose a word typically that's like connected to your presentation. I like the rule of thumb. If it's got more than 2 ingredients, may not be the healthiest thing in the world. All right. So then where it says add description, this is just for you to remember what this code is. Now, when it's your first code, it's really easy to remember. But if you create like 10, 12, 13 codes, it gets a little confusing. So you could just like, this is for my, nutrition keynote, whatever. This is just something for you. So you could just put like 1 letter there, like
Okay.
keynote, that's just for you. Nobody sees that except you.
Okay.
Perfect. So now you want to scroll down. Now, this is where you give away your bonus. Do you already have what you want to give away created?
I have it, but I am still working. It's Google, so I don't know if if I put it in and still add more things to it, it's gonna update automatically.
Is it a Google Doc? What
Yes.
is it? Yeah, if it's a Google Doc, you can just put that link. So go grab the Google Doc link. Even when you update it, it'll update automatically. So can you
I
find
kinda
that Google
don't know
Doc?
how to do it. So like Microsoft comes up and I don't understand.
So if you created it within Google Docs, is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
All right, so click the plus sign next to your Zoom window there to create a new tab. So you want to go where it says post attendee Zoom. Yeah, whoever did that. Thank you, Michael Pope. You're the best.
Oh,
Yeah, click
right
where,
here.
yep, click where Michael just circled it.
Yeah, I
'Cause you
know
wanna
this thing. I need to move this thing.
you
This
want to open a
black
new
thing.
window.
This
Yep.
black thing that keeps on. It doesn't move. You know that black thing when you're sharing?
Oh yeah, you can click on that and then move it down. You can click, hold, and then like
Oh, good. Thank you.
yeah, you're
This
welcome. I
here?
got you. Yeah, that right there.
Yeah.
And then type in drive.google. Now we're gonna see your Google Drive at this point. Is that okay if we see it?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's not sensitive in there. Okay, so go ahead and hit enter. Is it that meal planning document?
No. Let's see where it's at.
If you go to my go to where it says recent on the left, you see it says shared with me, recent starred. Yep, right there. Click on that,
Mhm.
and it should pull up. Is it the 101 reasons?
It's here. It's one of this, but it has the grid. It should say grid, but
You see where it says search and drive?
search and drive here.
Yeah, type in the word
Yeah.
grid. If it has the word grid, if you type in that as a keyword, it should pop it up.
Yeah, it's our
And then
table.
hit
Hold on, let me see if it's table.
table.
Chart. That's it.
That's it. Okay, so click on that. Now, do you see where it says share and there's like a lock on the upper right hand side?
Here, yes.
Yeah, click on share. And then you see where it says restricted?
Yes.
Click on that. and put anyone with link, and then hit copy link. Okay, now I want you to go back to the Talkadot. So the upper left-hand corner, you're gonna go back to the Talkadot tab, that one, and then
Okay.
paste that link right there.
Okay.
Perfect. Now hit next.
I learned something right here, right?
Yep, perfect. Now, if you scroll up, these questions are how you're going to be rated. So you're going to be rated on how actionable, how engaging, how interactive, how inspiring, how relevant. Are those good for, do you feel like, hey, that's what I'm an actionable, engaging, interactive, inspiring, relevant speaker, or do you want to change any of those to something that might be more relevant?
I like all of them. The only thing is it's a Zoom thing, and I don't know how interactive it can be with Zoom. Like,
That's right. So click interactive, and then choose a different word. Maybe you want educational, maybe you want informative.
or
So choose
practical,
practical, perfect.
because then, you know, you want to be able to use the information in your kitchen.
Perfect. So then you have the ability to add an additional question. I don't know if you need to do that at this stage, but if you scroll down, if you wanted to add an additional qualitative, like long answer question, you can. But I would say for now, let's just skip that and go to preview this feedback flow. Now on your left-hand side, you're gonna see what your audience will see when they give you feedback. So
Yes.
if you scroll down within that window there,
Right here.
yeah, and then just hit let's go on the left-hand side. Yep. And then you could just tab through it. Just yes, well, hit yes on the word
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yep. And then just hit whatever emoji you want. This won't affect your data in any way. It's just to see what it looks like and to make sure like this flow feels good. So
Okay.
yeah, you can just hit that. And then just keep clicking, hit next, next, and then one more next. Now, you see that LinkedIn? Click on that LinkedIn link. I like to test these just to make sure they were done correctly.
Okay.
I always test my links first. Your link's great, wonderful. Go back to the Talkadot to the left. Click on Get Your Bonus, the button, the gray button that says Get Your Bonus.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
Click on that. Okay, great. It pulls up. So this is all great. Okay, so then you want to go back over to your tab to Talkadot, where you were, and then it says looks good. Download my slide.
Looks good. Okay.
And then put you see where it says click to download slide. There's like a horizontal orange bar at the bottom.
Yes.
Click that, and now you've downloaded your Talkadot slide. Do you have your presentation deck built yet?
Yes.
Okay, is it Google
It's
PowerPoint?
Google, yeah, it's Google slide, yeah.
Okay, great. So go back to your Google Drive.
Back to
So yep, that one right there.
the
And then can you find the
it's this one right here.
great. So go ahead and click on that.
Double click it.
Yeah, open it up. Oh, I'm not sure what just happened. Hit the back button. Click on that again. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, so now what you want to do is go all the way to the end of your presentation deck. Yep, so you just scroll all the way to the bottom.
I have extra slides in it, but
Yeah, so you want to find like towards the end of your presentation. Okay, you see where your Talkadot slide is? Go
oh,
up.
there, yeah, right here, yeah.
Yeah, click there. So click on that and then delete it. No, not there, not there. Click right there. Yep, and then hit
Oh.
delete.
Okay.
Now go to insert on the menu. So file, edit, view, insert. It's on the left.
Got it.
Yep, and then do image. Right, that first one, and then move over to upload from computer. And then you want to find where this file was downloaded. It's probably
Well,
when you...
this is Microsoft is coming up, but it's in Google.
No, we're looking for your Talkadot slide that you just downloaded. So you want to go back to insert.
Oh.
And then go to image, and then upload from computer. And go. You see where it says search ACC on the top there? Oh,
Yeah.
go up a little more.
Yes.
Right there. Type
Yeah.
in Talkadot, the word Talkadot.
I'm sorry for that.
No, no worries. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna let me figure out what I gotta remember what the slide.
You need to check your
mechanism-
downloads folder.
Do you see the down? Oh, is there a downloads folder? I don't see the downloads folder.
Scroll up here.
Scroll up here.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
And
Oh, let me see if it's at the bottom.
oh, there it is.
Oh, downloads. Okay.
Oh,
Great.
there.
it is. Yeah, and then just click on that and then put open.
Oh,
Perfect. Okay, great.
oh, wow.
So now you
Yes.
are officially set up. You are good to go. This is how you find your slide, how you create your slide. Marissa, if you're there, by the way, make note. We should probably clip this and put this. If you're okay with it, Harriet, this is a great like 101 how to create and use Talkadot that I might actually want to share with people. So with your permission, I would love to do that.
Yes.
So do we have your permission? Is that okay if we share this to help
Yes.
other people? Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now, the only thing I would say to you, Harriet, is that right now your slide is set up. You can tell people to give you feedback. They can scan the QR code. They're going to get their bonus. You're going to get all your data. Everything's going to be good to go. The only thing that you don't have on this slide is your photo, right? So if you would like for your photo to be where that H is,
Yes.
you would just need to upload your photo into Talkadot and then re-download your slide.
Okay.
And I'll show you how to re-download your slide. Go back to Talkadot on the window all the way to the left.
Yes.
So you can just click anywhere that's not this little pop-up window. Yeah, like right there.
Okay.
Do you see where it says Nutrition, Awaken and Talk, and there's 3 dots that are horizontal?
Yes.
So click on those 3 dots. And do you see where it says Download Slide?
Yes.
Yeah, so whenever you want to re-download your slide, you can just click on those 3 dots, click Download Slide. So just click it for illustrative purposes. And then it'll pull your slide up. And all you have to do is scroll down a little bit on your window there, and you see that orange button. You just
Okay.
click there and you'll download it. So when you go into your settings and you do upload a pretty picture that you like,
I have a quick question. When it
Yeah.
says click download this slide, is it taking my whole slide or just that Talkadot slide?
so just this Talkadot slide, everything that you're physically seeing with the QR code, or go to talk.ac/Harriet Misers. So that whole image is what gets downloaded.
Got it. Okay.
You can use her LinkedIn picture.
Yeah, but it has some cushion on it. I don't know if it's professional. I have it on LinkedIn because I had an Apple for like years, and
Mhm.
I don't know.
Are you going to get a professional headshot taken before this talk?
No, so I probably
So, all right, so go over to your LinkedIn. We're gonna make this easy for you.
yes.
We're gonna save you from yourself right now, Harriet.
Yes.
Click on your image on your profile. Now I want you to right click on your photo, and then you see where it says save image as. Nope, save image as.
Yes.
All right, so you click that, and then it's gonna pop up, and just name it like headshot, where it
Yeah.
says file name. Type in headshot, and put that into your pictures on the left hand side. Click pictures.
I'm so like I don't know where this is saving, so I kind of
Yeah. I just want to put it somewhere you can get it more. Oh, you know.
yeah. Oh, okay. Administrative marketing. Okay. I just want to know where I'm putting
Okay,
it.
so you'll know. Okay, so hit save.
Yes.
Okay, now go back over to Talkadot window there. Okay, click anywhere that's not this pop-up. Yep, like there. And now go to the upper right-hand corner where that circle is with the avatar. Yep, click there. And then go to settings. And then click to add your photo, your profile photo. And then
I wonder if it's in download. Let me see.
you know what? Go to you see where it says search on the upper right-hand corner? This will make your life easier. Search downloads. Type in headshot. Oh, it's searching your downloads. We don't. We want to search your document. Michael, help! I'm a Mac.
It's in marketing. She saved it in marketing and
Yeah.
administration, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna find it now.
Okay, there we go. And then just scroll down.
Oh. I don't know where. Maybe it's not the right.
No, go to where it says search administration. Type in headshot there. See if it'll.
Let me.
No, it was marketing administration.
It was right here.
Go. Is there like a recent in PCs?
Could it be because one of these things here? I don't know what.
No, it's on your computer. Hold on. On the left-hand side where there's a scroll. Yeah,
Hold
there. Scroll all the way to the top and then
Oh, let
put,
me try something else.
yeah, you see where it says search documents? Now go
Hold
to this.
Hold on. Let me try something else. It's
Okay, sure.
oh,
There it is. All right, so click that and then click open. And that looks good. Hit save. Boom. So go ahead and click home, the home button,
the home.
top
On
next to
top.
my leads, next to
Okay, yeah.
resources.
Got it.
So then scroll down here and then go to those three dots where it says nutrition. Yep. And then click download slide.
Download site. Oh,
Okay.
there.
And then scroll down on this image and then click to download slide.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Now go back to your Google slide deck. Yeah, now hit the delete button. Now go to insert on the menu next to view. Yep,
Insert.
insert, and then image, then upload from computer. And then go to downloads. Nope, not that. Go to downloads to the left, up, right, yep. And then the top one, that one right there. Click that and then hit open. And now you're good. If you wanted to, and this is my like OCD kicking in, click on your image there. And then in the upper left-hand corner, you see how there's like a little box in the image? Nope, on the
Right
image
here?
itself. Nope, a little more to the left. Yeah, and you can just click and then drag it. You can make it fit into your slide deck just a little more. Yeah, right there. Go back a little bit. Yep, Lego. And then go to the other side, and then you can just pull it just a, yep, just there you go. Let it, yep. You know what? You could you can leave it. This is me
Okay.
being a little OCD here for me here. But yeah, but now you're officially all set up. You are good to go.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Thank you. This is helpful.
yeah, yeah. Quick question for you just to try to help you in the future. When you share this presentation, are you sharing it from your Google Drive or are you sharing this link with your host and they're pulling it up for you? Do you know how that's going to go?
You mean
When you do the actual presentation?
oh my goodness. I'm so new to, I mean, technology is not new, but I'm so new to this. Normally I just like copy and paste the slide, I guess, in the chat. I don't know if that's how you're
Oh,
supposed
no.
to do
All right. So here's what I'm saying. Do you see where it says share with that
right here.
lock? If you click on that, if do you see how it says restricted right there?
Yes.
Right now, you're the only human in the world, if you're logged in, who can see it. If you ever wanted someone else who's not you to see it, you would have to
Okay.
change that to view by anyone. So I'm just letting you know that because sometimes like you might say, oh, I'm going to share my presentation with someone, but then they can't access it. So if you
I
click
didn't
view
know
by
that.
anyone, yeah,
Thank
so
you. I didn't know
just so
that.
you know, just so you know. But I hope that was helpful. This was good, Marissa. We will use
Very
this
helpful.
because this will help other folks just like Harriet.
Can I
In the
stop
future.
sharing now?
Yes, you can stop sharing. You're all good. You're all good.
This is helpful. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, look, you're
Yeah.
you're set up and you're good to go. So we got your back.
Thank you.
Earl, sorry, just to chime in and make sure it doesn't get lost in the chat. Samantha had two questions that are getting a little bit lost up there. So I just want to make sure.
Oh, thank you. David, give me a second. I'm gonna go to Samantha here because can you
She said-
address pricing, the pricing one?
The pricing one, and then she had one before that that she said was more important, and it was about emails, I believe. Let me find it. Yeah, it says under email campaign settings, automated email triggers, I turned on Booking leads, email opt-ins, and referral leads. You said that turning them off generates an auto email send to people. What is the email copy, and do I need to create the copy?
Okay, great.
I can
So,
copy this and send it to you.
yep, I can see that. So when you go over to your settings here and you go down to the emails, so we just showed Harriet this. You want to have these on so that an email actually gets sent. If you have these triggered as off, then when
Right.
leads or booking leads come in, nothing will get sent, right?
Yeah, I got them turned on, but then
Okay.
what magic happens after that that I'm unaware of?
Okay, so here's what happens. If you click on actions
Yeah.
right here, these three dots, and go to view
Okay.
email
Oh,
template.
hey, look at that.
So this is the email that goes out. So let me break down this so you can understand it. It's sent from our servers, so it's sent from like at Talkadot, but it will reply to your email. So we'll send it, they'll reply. It's already pre-written. You don't have to do anything here. It says hi, first name or just hi, friend, whatever. Thanks so much for attending my recent session. While giving me your feedback, you indicated that you were interested in booking me to speak for a future event. Is that still the case?
Yeah, love it.
Would now be a good time to jump on a call to discuss this more? Now, this is where a little bit of the magic happens. It says, let me know by replying to this email with some dates and times you're available. Do you know if you've added your calendar link to your settings, Samantha?
I do not think I think I must not have because it doesn't
Okay.
give me the second part of your sentence.
That's right. So I'm going to explain this for everyone so they see it. If you have your calendar link added in your settings, which I can show everyone how to do in a second, it'll say, or if it's easier, you can book a time on this calendar to meet with me, right? So, and then it'll go onto your calendar link. If you don't add your calendar into the settings, it won't have that part. It'll just say, reply back to this email, best, it'll have your name. If you have your Talkadot public profile public, it'll say, hey, check out my most recent feedback. And then if you've given them a bonus, then it'll say, I also wanted to make sure you have access to the bonus. I promise you can access it here. And then we give a link and they can click on it and get the bonus. So this ensures that everyone gets via email the bonus that you provided people.
Perfect.
So that's the booking one. If you want to add your meeting link, like if you have like a
Yes, please.
Calendly or Schedule Once, just go to configuration options in your settings and then just pop in your email address right there.
And meeting
and
link.
Yep. And then your meeting link will pop up at the end of people's feedback flow, only for booking leads, not for anyone else. And it'll go in your emails so people can schedule meetings with you.
God, you've made this so hard.
Yeah. And if you want to see whatever the copy for the other emails, you can just click on these
Yeah.
three dots and see what it's saying. And it's all conditional based on if you included a bonus or didn't include a bonus, if you have a calendar link or don't have a calendar link, all of these will adjust accordingly for you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'll wait till after David for the second question. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. You're welcome. What's up, David?
All right, mine should be quick question, hopefully. So when I click to download a slide or, when I come into an event and I hit share and hit download, I get this really cool graphic for the one event. Is there a comparable thing that can do it for my overall results?
Not yet, but it's coming. Yeah.
Okay.
So the best thing that you can do now is one of our users, if you actually share your screen again, you have a couple of options. This isn't like, it's not chef's kiss beautiful yet, but it will be. So option one is you could just take a screenshot of that. Option two is you can actually, there's a way of moving, like minimizing your screen a little bit, and then it grab like the corner of your screen. Yeah, like that, exactly. And it's just stacked, so it's a little more stacked, and then you can
And
take a
then do a
screenshot.
screenshot.
Yeah. So it's a little hack right now. Eventually, we're gonna have the ability for you to click and download. It's on the roadmap. It just hasn't been made
Okay.
live yet. That's all.
Or I can just make my own and make it look like kind of like that.
You definitely could do that.
If I want to get creative. So
If you want to get creative, yeah, if you have the design skills, you can do it. If you want to send it to someone and do it, you can. But we are working on it. It will be available for everyone.
cool. That's it. Thanks.
All right, you the man. Great score, by the way, on 193 people. Jeez Louise, David. Out here hitting home runs. Samantha, what was your second question?
My second question is, let's see here.
Where was it? I'm missing.
Here, I'll read it to you. It says, if you've already covered, let me know. Oh, she said you hadn't. I was just looking for some input regarding the pricing from you and the community. So I'm in
Yep.
negotiations for a speaking gig next year. They
Yep.
weren't put off by the price I quoted, but they asked if it might cover 2 topics. And they
Mhm.
said, we want to get the best bang for our buck, which I get. But I know that how much time it takes to, create something and then execute it. I'm happy to do the same one morning and night, but I'm just wondering what other people do when they experience pricing with multiple sessions or different
Yeah.
topics. Yeah.
Do you know if they want you to speak on the same day or on different days?
It's all flexible. So I think, I think I can
So-
bake that into a proposal.
Yeah, what I typically do, and I just did this actually just at a conference literally last week in Pennsylvania. I did a keynote and then I did a workshop to follow up the keynote. So I like if it's an association or a conference to do a keynote and a workshop. I like that. Sometimes I just do keynotes. That's totally fine. But I'll include it in the second presentation if I get pushback from them. I typically like to get paid extra for the second presentation. But if it's a deal breaker and it's like, hey, we can pay you your keynote fee, but we'd like for you to do a workshop, I'll throw it in as a, hey, I care about your organization. I'd love to do it. And I'll throw it in at no additional charge because I'm already there. However, it's not going to be ideally like I keynote at 9 a.m. and then I workshop at 4:30 p.m. Because then that messes up your flights, that messes up your ability to get home. So if I keynote from like 9 to 10 and then I do a workshop from like 10:30 to 11:30 or 10:30 to 12, that's a smaller breakout. I'm usually totally fine with that because I can still catch a flight and get home. I give more value to my client. I get more face time with the people in the room. I get to talk about stuff I really care about talking about. So I philosophically don't mind. I do know there are speakers that are very like militant and they're like, one speech is X, a speech and a keynote, a keynote and a workshop is Y. And if you don't have Y, screw you, buddy. Right? Now, some people are at the place where, they could do that. Like if I was Gary Vaynerchuk, I probably could have, I could do that too. But I'm not Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm Aurel Moody. So I try to be easy to work with and I typically throw it in. So if they're like, hey, your keynote fee is fine and they can give you a workshop right after and you already have the workshop, if it's like custom content, the only thing that I might recommend philosophically is you're getting paid to create another workshop, so create it. You're getting paid primarily for the keynote, so that's the one that matters. And then the workshop could be like, it's kind of like I look at it like comedians do this. I don't know if you're familiar with like stand-up comedian world, but before they do like a big special, they do a bunch of small shows. Like they do like little workshops, little stand-up sets. That's the word I was looking for. They do their sets in like smaller venues where like if they bomb, it really doesn't matter. So I actually like trying out like new content. Like, okay, I'm gonna come up with some new content. I'm fully aware my first version of anything I do is not baked. It's not going to be the best version of it. So I like to do my main stuff on the main stage that I know is good, that I know is going to work, and like, make my little changes that I need to make. And then on the workshop, I could totally suck. Totally. And I'm okay with that because I'm basically workshopping new material. And then if it goes really well, now I have a second presentation that I feel very confident in offering. And now when you're working with people, they can book you 1 year and then rebook you with the second content, or they can book 2 presentations. So I like having at least an arsenal of like 5 presentations that I can rotate out, so that I can get rebooked, I can get referred, I can do, more work with the client. So that's how I philosophically look at it. But I'm also fully aware that other people would like totally think what I just said was stupid. And they go, it's X for one, Y for two, and that's just the way that it is. So I think it depends on what philosophical camp you feel most comfortable with. And I respect both of them very, very much equally.
Okay. All right. Okay. Perfect.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope it goes well, and I hope they get it. I would definitely recommend if you could emphasize not, if you do decide to do the 2 workshops, which you can also hold to your guns and be like, nope, just one keynote. But if you do decide to do 2, just make sure that they don't do it on 2 separate days, and they don't
Yeah.
do it at like 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. because that will, from past experience, it's not as fun.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's actually in a place that's about 2.5 hour drive for me, so it's not very far.
Okay.
In a city that I kind of like to dink around in. So
You decide,
But-
I will say this, energy levels, I've noticed if I speak and then have a huge space in between my next talk,
Mhm.
my adrenaline drops and I am the worst version of myself in terms of energy later. So I prefer to get like an hour break, 30-minute break. That's totally fine for me. But if I get like a 4 or 5 hour break, I don't know, like everyone's a little
Yeah.
different. My adrenaline spikes right before I speak. And like when I'm off stage, I'm on this like speaker high. And then when I hit my like hotel afterwards, I'm
Yeah,
like watching.
that's a great point because I
Yeah.
am the exact same way. And you're right. I don't want to have to it'd be like an emotional roller coaster doing if they're too far apart. That makes complete sense. And I'm a morning
Yeah.
person, so and
Yeah. So
normally I have my camera on. Sorry about that. I like to make sure I
okay.
do, but I don't today.
No worries. We can hear your voice, and that's all that matters. Or you
No,
can
it's
get
like
your
an
AI
angel.
avatar. You get your avatar, and
You're
then
my
you can.
avatar and my voice of an angel. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I will say, normally when you're working with people, they're very flexible to move the schedule around. If you're like, yeah, if you want to get the bang for the buck, morning, and then you have the
Yeah.
whole afternoon to either chill around and network or go, you know, dink around in the town and have some fun.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other comment, I'm just going to post it down below. It's simply feedback.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much. All right. I think I saw Harriet throw a question in there. Boop, boop, boop. Once you went over how to learn the budget of your target organization, can you please go over that again? There's lots of different ways to get budget, so I'll give you a couple. Number one, if it's if it's a nonprofit like an association, you can go to guidestar.org, and they've got something called IRS Forms 990. Does anyone need me to go over that real quick? Because this might be okay.
Yes.
All right, I'll do it real quick. So we'll do this. Does anyone want to give a name of their a group, like an association they've spoken to? This doesn't work for private companies. This typically works with like associations.
Howard County Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, let's see. So guidestar.org has like there's a lot of websites that do this. I just happen to use GuideStar. What'd you call it? You're muted, Harriet, so I didn't hear you.
Howard County
Yeah.
Chamber of Commerce.
All right, Chamber of Commerce. I don't know if they're a nonprofit. Let's see. Oh, no. Howard County. Is this it? Kokomo?
No, Columbia, Maryland on top.
Columbia, Maryland?
Yes.
Howard County Chamber of Commerce. This is like a fund that they have. I don't know if that's
Oh,
gonna, I mean, I don't think there's I'll check here. I don't think so. And then it says right here, tax forms, show forms 990. They've not filed.
how did you get that so quickly? Where did you go?
So you go to guidestar.org
Yeah,
right here, and then you go into search and you just put in the name of the organization.
okay.
So let's say, for example, it was this one. This is in Indiana, which is not your one. And then right here, it says tax form, show form 990. Then you click on that, and then you'll see their most recent 990, which is basically their tax return for a nonprofit. So the one that I had showed you just now was like 2013, so that's like super outdated. But here, if I click on here, this is their actual tax return. And I can see a couple of things on this. The first thing that I can see is, how many expenses they have. I can see their net assets. But what I'm really interested in is if I go to just hit Control F or Command F, I think Control F on a PC. I just want to look at meetings, not that one, that one, right? So I typically want to look for line 19, which is conference, conventions, and meetings. And this will typically, there's nothing here, so like you don't have any data. So like for example, this group in Kokomo may not spend any money on conferences, conventions, and meetings, so they don't have anything there. But let's say, and I'll just use an organization that I know because I've spoken at them in the past. Ooh, I spelled California wrong. I went to college. California Workforce Association. Good people here. So I can click here and then go to like show form 990, click here. And then I can see, their expenses. I can see their, net assets. Oh, I don't know. Something happened here. Something happened there. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to go back to conference. All right, that's not gonna work. Meeting is just quicker. And then I'll go here and then it'll set on line 19. So now that I know they've spent about, $438,000 on conferences. Now, do I know that how much they've spent on a speaker? No, but what I do know is they have invested. So like, for example, that Kokomo Chamber of Commerce that had nothing there, they may not have any money to pay me to speak. They don't have any money. If they had like $200 here, I can know for a fact that like, they're not going to be able to hire me. Sometimes, and it's not often, if you type in the word speaker or professional services, ooh, I spelled it wrong. Yeah, sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't. Professional fees, yeah. Sometimes they'll have like an addendum on here and they'll list out things. But mostly, step one is I'm just looking at their 990 just to get a sense of how much funds they have available, right? The second thing that I typically do is I'll look at who they've had in the past. So if it's a company, right? So let's say it's, I don't know, trying to think of a good example here. Anyway, any kind of company that might bring you in for like an employee event of some sort, I'll just look, I'll Google, let's say it was Clorox's annual leadership meeting, right? I'll just Google Clorox's annual leadership meeting 2023. And then I just want to see who their speaker was. Now, if the speaker's like Michael Pope Jr., I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. They spend $600,000 on their speakers. I know I could charge them whatever I want to charge them, right? This is wonderful. But if they bring in like, Joe Schmegegi, who's the executive director of a local nonprofit, they may have got that person to speak for free, maybe. So I'm just trying to see like, is this a professional speaker that they've brought in, or is this a subject matter expert, which are two different things? If it's a professional speaker, you can kind of get a sense maybe what they charge if they're listed on bureaus or if they're listed on, like anything like that. So that's kind of some of the recon that you can do to get a sense of budget. But it's a little bit of a, secret, for lack of a better term. Helpful?
Yes. Oh, that was me. Yeah, that was me. Thank you. I have just a quick follow-up question. You said professional speaker or subject matter expert?
Yeah.
Which pays more?
Professional speaker. So a subject matter expert is like, I'm the executive vice president of the Chamber of Commerce. So you're going to invite me to come in and speak about community engagement. I'm a subject matter expert because I do this for the chamber. So you bring me in, I do this on behalf of the chamber. I don't expect money. If I'm a professional speaker, I get paid to speak. So you want to be a professional speaker? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, y'all.
Oh,
Thanks for being here.
one little thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's so hard being a nutritionist because it's almost like nobody takes nutrition seriously until they need it.
Yes.
Like it's one of those things in life where it's not important just until you need it. Do you have any stories like, I just don't know how to make my like, how do I command a certain fee? I think I'm pretty good at nutrition. I've been practicing it for decades. Personally and professionally, I know how to talk on it.
Yeah, so that is a very it's a very good question. So I'll give you an example. I just put a link in the chat. That's a speakers bureau that has wellness speakers listed. So these are like their top 10, wellness speakers. What I would do is see how are these people positioning themselves. I'm not a wellness speaker, so it's hard for me to give you like direct, like do this, do that. But the rule of thumb is look for people who are doing a similar topic to you, who are getting paid well and who are in demand. And you can do that through like Google search, like top wellness speakers, top nutrition speakers. Go to speakers bureaus, search the word nutrition. And then you just want to see how are people positioning themselves? What are they, one, where are they speaking? Because that'll give you a sense. Because here's the thing, a nutrition presentation at your local chamber of commerce may be valued at this, where a nutrition presentation to Accenture for all of their new members on how to prevent burnout and keep themselves healthy might be valued at this, right? So it's also sometimes it's not your topic, it's the playground in which you choose to play with, right? So that same topic at the local chamber of commerce, they're not going to pay you anything for it. Maybe a few dollars, maybe, like pay you for lunch or dinner or something, right? But that same topic, that's like, wow, as a multinational company, we see how much healthcare costs are impacting us. We've got to do something to lower our healthcare costs. And then this is a bigger thing, which might be helpful or might open up a can of worms that we don't have time to service, which is you have to connect your message, no matter what it is, to something that either increases revenue, decreases costs, or increases productivity. If you can connect whatever you talk to those three things, companies will always pay for those three things. They'll always pay for more money, they always pay for decreasing costs, and they'll always pay for increased productivity. So if you can show how there's a direct correlate between what you're doing and one of those three things, you'll be in a better position than maybe just being nutrition.
Thank you. That was helpful.
You're welcome. Samantha.
Thanks. I'll be quick. And it's regarding the speaker bureau search. Any tips on, I just did a quick Google search. I put speaker bureau customer experience and it didn't really give me a whole lot of good things. Do you have any suggestions for dialing that down?
Customer experience. Brittany Hodak, Shep Hyken. Those are the two people. Do you know who they are? Brittany Hodak?
I know who Brittany is. I'm creeping on her all the time. And then who was the other guy?
Shep Hyken.
Shep, S-H-E-P. Okay.
S-H-E-P-H-Y.
K-E-N. I can look that up.
Yeah, H-Y-K-E-N. Yeah, so
Okay.
those are the two speakers who I know do CX, who are like crushing it, and they like speak everywhere all day, every day, and they speak for high fees. So I would start there, and then I would just look for anything similar. CX, customer experience, is typically the language that people are using for that. So CX speakers, if you type in CX speakers, you'll find tons.
And speaker bureau.
Yeah, top CX speakers. You can type in speaker bureau, like go to a speaker bureau and like search on their bureau customer experience or CX would probably be better. So go to like Premier Speakers Bureaus or AAE or what's the other big one? CAA, Washington Speakers Bureau, right? You can go into any of those sites and then in their search put in customer experience or CX, and it'll give you a list of their top speakers, and then you can just kind of see like, oh, I never heard of this person, and then I'd Google that person and see if I could figure out where they're speaking, or what their fee range is, and it'll give you a sense of how are they positioning themselves. And then the only thing I'll say about this, which is a weird thing to say, sometimes when speakers do this, we get obsessed about how other people are doing things. And we sometimes can change too much of who we are because we're like, oh, people want like a dude who wears a clown face. I'm gonna start wearing clown faces, and because people really like this dude, but that's just like his weird niche, and it just works for him. And so don't like look at it for inspiration, but don't over-index that they're doing it completely right and you're doing it completely wrong. It's more about just getting data points.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome so much. Okay, cool. Thank you all. Appreciate y'all being on these AMAs. We here for y'all. Tell your friends, listen, If you don't tell your friends about Talkadot, we're not going to grow. If we don't grow, we ain't doing these sessions no more. So tell your friends about it, because it'll make it, it's more fun with more people out. So if you have a friend, just so everyone knows, in case you don't know, which everyone should know, but someone like Harriet, you may not know Harriet, so I'm going to tell you. Right here on the top of your screen, it says share Talkadot and get rewarded. This is your referral link. So go ahead and click on that link and hit copy, or you can like post this on social media and share this with a friend. If you got a friend that's a speaker, or if you're part of a speaker group or part of a coaching cohort of some sort, say, hey, Talkadot, it's pretty nice. You should use it. It's a pretty good tool. Give them that link. For everyone who registers, they'll get a free trial of Talkadot plus a discount if they decide to register, and for the pro, and you'll get $50 for every person who does register. So share the wealth, and thank you all for being with us. I hope to see you next Monday. Is the Black Box speaker training, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Please be there. Clear your calendar. It's going to be special. I can't wait for it. So thanks so much for being here, y'all.
These are always fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Samantha. Appreciate you. Take care.
Hey, thanks.
See you, David.